I'm joined by Matt Canavan and Labor strategist Cameron Milner. Well, with Anthony Albanese in COVID isolation, his front bench has been playing a greater role. On Saturday, 4 of his front bench came out for a press conference, but none of them could answer a basic question from Sky News reporter Jonathan Lee on carbon credits and coal mines. Cameron, this week was meant to be an opportunity for Labor to showcase its excellent front bench, but it's been quite problematic that the gaffes seem to be continuing, and particularly in an area like this where no one could answer a specific policy question on carbon credits and coal mines.
Oh, and look, this is one issue I think Matt and I will definitely agree on. Coal is central to my home state and Matt's home state of Queensland. Like this, we love coal mines, we love coal mining. It's going to be around for a very, very long time in Queensland's economy, around for another 80, 100 years at least, like this. But in the specifics around this particular issue, around the issue that Chris Bowen quite reasonably came out of having had COVID last week as the climate change spokesperson and clarified in terms of Labor's policy, is that will help companies, the 215 largest emitters, meet net zero by 2050. Now, Scott Morrison's policy is net zero by 2050, and so that shouldn't come as any great surprise. And the same 215 companies were the ones that Tony Abbott had said were the biggest emitters as well. So the media might like to see this as some great gotcha moment, but it's not Adani, it's not Bob Brown, it's not what we were dealing with in the 2019 campaign.
Yeah, look, Cameron's right that it's not cutting through. It hasn't been a big focus of the campaign so far, Matt. But, you know, what was your reaction to that press conference when Richard Marles could not answer the question?
Well, Sharri, the Labor Party are massively embarrassed about their position on jobs in regional communities and coal. And it was a nice try from Cameron there to sort of latch on to hitch himself to my star. But I remember at the last election when Bill Shorten, Labor Party, signed up with Bob Brown to oppose the Adani mine.
Together.
No, mate. Bill Shorten. No, you had your go. Bill Shorten said in no uncertain terms ahead of the 2019 election that he did not support the Adani project. He was with Bob, and that's why I brought him back here tonight due to popular demand. He's loved up here in Queensland for the jobs he created. But no thanks to Labor. And what you might say that it's capturing national attention, Sharri, but down there in the Hunter Valley where I was this week, this is a major topic of conversation. Pat Conroy, a local Labor MP down there, has been running around telling people that coal mines will be exempt from the safeguard mechanism. And today he's been caught out fibbing. He's been caught out telling big fibs to the people of the Hunter Valley. And look, people are upset. People are upset in these communities about the Labor Party's lack of fight for them. They're even angrier, though, about being lied to. And that's what Labor has tried to do. They've tried to lie to people in coal communities, and they've been found out today. And I think that's going to rebound on them right through the country because you just can't trust Labor.
Yeah, just very quickly, Cameron, because I want to get to Albo in COVID isolation. Yeah,
absolutely. Very simply, every single one of those resources companies has already committed to their shareholders to be net zero by 2050, regardless of Labor's policy. So they've already said to their shareholders... They
haven't asked for carbon credit, mandatory carbon credit purchases.
They've all said that...
But Sharri, if I can just say here, the problem for Labor... The problem for Labor, even after today, we do not know how much they'll have to pay. We do not know how many carbon credits they have to buy. You're telling us that they'll have to negotiate with a green-tinged energy regulator, clean energy regulator after the election. There is more fine print in Labor's carbon policy than you get in a mobile phone contract. And you should be a little bit wary about signing up here because you don't know what's going to happen after the election when they have to negotiate with Adam Bandt and the Greens in the Senate.
Okay, I just want to move on to this
except the very companies who are affected have already said they'll be net zero by 2050.
Next topic of the campaign.
Please.
Everyone thinks this is probably going to be a bad thing for Labor that Anthony Albanese has been taken out of the campaign for a week. But in fact, he was doing really well in the polls until the campaign started and he was exposed to the daily scrutiny of a press conference. Cameron Milner, you've even described it in your column in The Australian as one of the worst starts to a campaign that you've ever seen. So, you know, I think
it was a shocker. It was a shocker.
Yeah. Simon Benson makes a good point in his column that Labor wants to run down the clock and that with 7 days taken out of campaigning, Albanese has reduced the risk of more mistakes. What do you think about that?
Well, I think what we're seeing is someone who's suffering from COVID. I mean, he caught COVID while out there meeting people like this, be it at Byron Bay, like this. So he's suffering from COVID. He's home for 7 days, but he's still doing media interviews, as everyone knows, in the fifth estate like this. So he's doing plenty of work as the leader of the opposition. But what's great is we've actually got a really deep batting order. We've actually got a front bench who are talented like this. We've actually got Team Albo out there telling everyone and showing everyone just how good they are.
Or showing everyone just how bad they are, perhaps.
Righty, okay.
Matt Canavan.
I give you a full mark, gold star.
I'm only saying after Saturday's press conference when they couldn't answer the questions from Jonathan Lee. Matt, the coalition is calling this the Joe Biden basement strategy, potentially a bit unfair given Albo does have COVID. But, you know, do you think there is some truth to this, that it's keeping him out of the limelight, will actually be better for Labor?
I haven't used that in regards to Anthony Albanese, and I wish him all the best. But there was a bit of a hide and Biden about Richard Marles yesterday. He sort of was runaway Richard yesterday when he gets asked a very simple question. He's deputy leader. He's not a backbencher or something. He gets asked a simple question. Coal mines going to have to pay a carbon price? And exactly, he was acting leader. And how much would coal mines have to pay? And he ran away. He literally tried to use Jim Chalmers as a human shield. It was so embarrassing. And I was a bit worried with Albo out. We were losing our best on ground with Albo being subbed off there last week. But the reserve grade here. Just as bad as Albo, if not worse, and it's not good news for the Labor
except
Party.
for Jason Clare. Jason Clare's performance the other day was very impressive.
Jason's good man.
Jason's performance was impressive, but he's just a junior member of the Labor front bench team. We've got to have
what's
to
going on
leave
the Labor Party? He deserves a promotion, that fella.
Yeah. Cameron Milner, Matt Canavan, thank you both so much for your time.
Thank you so much for your time.